the Takayuki 49 layer hand hammered Damascus collection. In the small city of Sakai, which is on the outskirts of Osaka, it's always been known as one of the major centers of knife production and blade production in Japan. These small workshops are a testimony to the actual high quality that Japan has always achieved in the manufacturing of fine edges. Now there isn't so much demand for swords anymore, and so a lot of those very talented blacksmiths have turned their art to making knives, kitchen knives. One such master, Takayuki-san, started a small workshop in Sakai, producing a range of blades that are amongst the sharpest and easiest to resharpen knives that we sell. The balances are fantastic, the handles are made out of a desert ironwood, which is almost the same sort of density as stone. The blade itself is 49 layers of steel. It's been hammered on an auto hammer and then been beaten by like an engineering hammer on an anvil. The center core of this collection of blades is VG10 steel. VG10 steel is now recognized as one of the most important steels in the production of very fine knives. It has a very high carbon content. It's over 1.1 to 1.3% of carbon in there, and then it's been toughened using cobalt, which produces a very small carbide, which is the steel crystal after the cobalt has joined together with the carbon, and that the small molecules or the small steel crystals that are produced by this kind of composition of steel, it makes it very easy to resharpen. Not only are the knives so beautifully sharp and so easy to look after, but aesthetically they're absolutely stunning. They almost look like pieces of art. The shime, or the pebble finish, which is created by the hammering on the side of the blade, that allows a little bit of air to be there, and so you don't get a vacuum which you would normally get with using, say, when you're cutting ham, or which has a lot of fat in it, or salmon which has a lot of oil in it, or potato with a lot of starch in it. And what happens is that as the food moves across the surface of the blade here, what normally we expect is little dents in the side of the blade called granton hollows. This is replicated by this shime. It doesn't make this knife non-stick, okay? It must be understood, it's not non-stick, but it just reduces the amount of friction, vacuum that you get on the side of the blade, and so you'll find that food falls away much easier. At the present time, the Takayuki 49 layer Damascus steel collection consists of 8 blades to cover all the culinary tasks, from a small 90mm paring knife right through to a 240mm slicer, and in there's also the normal sort of nakiri for chopping vegetables, the santoku chef's knife, the gyoza chef's knife in a couple of sizes, in fact in 3 sizes, and you'll find that you'll only need probably 3 or 4 knives from this collection to have everything that you need in the kitchen. Now, the handles, as I said, are made out of a desert ironwood. It doesn't really require much maintenance, but it should be oiled fairly regularly. The blades are relatively stainless, and by the way, stainless means exactly that. Stainless does not mean stain-proof. It means it stains less, which is why it's called stainless. And I think that you'll find that if you select a knife from this particular collection, it's something that's going to be good for probably about 25 to 30 years at least in the normal kitchen in the house, probably about 8 to 10 years in a professional kitchen, and the regular sharpening is very easy. It can be done either on a stone or a steel if you really have to, or on a sort of ceramic disc wheel. By far the best way is to use 1,000, 3,000 grit stone, something like that. This fully forged blade, which has a lovely bolster on it, which is actually stainless steel, which is not the same steel as that, has been welded on afterwards in the production of the knife, because actually the knife was produced like this way first, from here, and then the bolsters were added on afterwards. Takayuki-san himself actually produces this collection of knives. You can actually get the same collection of blades that look very similar with only 17 layers, which is made by his workman in his workshop. I just think that if you're going to go for something at this sort of price range, which is, or the chef's knife here is £179, it's best to get something that's made by the man himself rather than from his workshop. I just find that this range of knives has now become probably our most popular single collection of blades.